You're on.
Hey, what's up? Never a dull moment. It never is around here. We are getting some stuff ready for you. What do we got going on today? We got flattening stones, truing stones, lapping plates, like whatever you want to call it. But these are essential part of what's going on, and let's get into it. When you get a whetstone, these synthetic stones, I mean, it's just abrasives, you know, and an adhesive pressed together. And as you use a whetstone, whether it's brand new out of the box or you've used it for a while, you don't know if it's level. Now, some of the most advanced knife polishers, they need their stones to be convex, but for the most of us who are sharpening knives, we need our edge to be even. We need to know that our stone is flat. So to flatten the stone, we have several options. And I forgot to get something out for you, but it'll do the trick.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go rudimentary. All right, so when you have a whetstone that is not flat and you need to flatten it, you've invested the money in the stone, you might have gotten the sink bridge, you might have gotten the sink pond, you might just be doing it on a towel in your counter, but at some point in time, you're going to need to flatten this stone. The most basic way to do that would be to go outside on your sidewalk. We're hoping that your sidewalk is flat. For you, those of you who don't know and who've just joined it, my wife is finally mic'd up. So when she talks today, you should be able to actually hear her. And so we should have fun with that. Maybe she'll have a little bit more banter than she did in the last video. So when you, let's see if I can get some marks on here. When you want to flatten a stone, you make a grid, and then we are going to take the time to erase the grid so we know that the stone itself is flat. So there are several ways to do this. So let's just go and show you real quick the most basic version of that. If you're going to go with the old sandpaper method, you're going to need a little paper tape or duct tape. It's going to need to go outside in your shed. Dust is going to be flying everywhere. Okay? And you would want to like tape this down. Okay? Let me just put this right out front.
Nobody wants to clean that up.
And then this, you'd want to get it wet, so put some water on it. And then with this still, you would want to lay this down and do circles. And then check it occasionally and see if the lines are gone. And when the lines are gone, your stone is flat. Now, obviously, you're going to have to continuously replace that sandpaper.
That doesn't sound like fun.
And yeah, it's a lot of work. And if you wanted to know what grit sandpaper, I would go with 400 or 500 grit. You don't need something this is 220 that I happen to have underneath there, but you don't need something that aggressive unless you really got a dish, then you can go for it. But we have some other options that you may have heard of if you're a knife sharpener that we're going to share with you. One of which is this Naniwa truing stone. Now, this is the $29 option, okay? You can get this a lot of places. One is sharpeningsupplies.com. I'm not sure if you can get it on Amazon, but if so, I'll have a link in the description. You do need to, with this particular, you do need to soak this. So I am putting this in the water. My wife is she's moving more today than normal, causing problems, okay? I'm gonna ask her to not move around so much. She's going left, right, zooming in and out, just one side. We got a camera on the left, she's over here. We're trying to bring camera angles, but it's causing a problem. So let's just not create all the problems and everything. We're still learning, guys. We're still growing as a show, but it's becoming an issue, so we're already learning today. Let's not do that. So today, this particular truing stone, flattening stone, it needs to soak a little bit. And when you use it, you would actually put it on here and you would move it back and forth. Okay, so you would get some water on here and you would go back and forth. Now, one of the things that you do not want to do is be sideways because you may teeter. And in doing so, you might actually grade the stone ever so mildly at an angle. So if you can keep this forward and move it back and forth, you can flatten this stone. With the grooves in between, it lets some of the moisture and the buildup release instead of using the backside, which is flat, okay? $29 option. It is not super quick. Like I said, if you need to get one, it's great. If you got a brand new stone, it's gonna be great. But if you've got one that needs some work, I mean, your sidewalk's a little bit better than this, okay? But this, given time, will get it done. All right. The next thing I'm gonna show you is one of the most popular ones that we have. This is in the like $99 range. This is the Atoma. Okay, so these Atoma plates, let me go ahead and kind of clean this up for you real fast. These are being used. These Atoma plates are a steel block with an actual adhesive plate attached to it. It comes in a 140, a 400, a 600. Is it 600 or 800? But it also comes in a 1200, and that's the sizes that it carries. Okay? So
There was a glare, so there we go.
So this Atoma plate having the adhesive itself has clustered diamonds that are like organized. I mean, they did a pattern on here to have the cluster of diamonds. Yeah, I saw the camera move. I saw the camera go. So the show has Tourette's. We're gonna definitely, guys, try not to do this in further episodes. It's just getting a little too complicated in the studio. I think we're trying for you, but it's getting out of hand.
It's some extra cords.
Okay, yeah. So the diamonds themselves are monocrystalline diamonds. And we're not going to get way into that. There's polycrystalline and monocrystalline. But these will break down over time. Diamonds are very hard, and if you press very hard and break the diamonds, even though they're hard as substance, they can crack. They become finer and finer and finer. They can wear out. So what they did was you can actually remove the adhesive plate. You can replace it, but I'll tell you that the plate that you replace it with is about $79. So you're saving $20 on the piece of steel that you're reusing. That's a yay, but it's still pretty much the whole thing is the diamond plate. What I have represented here today is the 400 and the 1200. And what I wanted to do is I left this one dirty specifically. So that way the camera up here, I know, can see it. There is a lot of dust that's built up, and you're thinking to yourself, man, one, that dust can keep it from cutting, which it can. And two, let's make sure that when we're working on the actual next stone, that we don't take this abrasive onto the next stone. Because if I was cleaning up like a very coarse stone and I got it flat, okay, and then I took that abrasive in here and then clean it up, when I go to the finer grit stone, I'm going to be putting that coarse abrasive onto the next. We have rusty racers. I don't know if you've seen them. It is, I think I've got one around here somewhere. I don't see it right off the bat, but it is something that we can do to try to actually, clean these up. And because I don't see my rusty eraser, but it's okay. One of the things I need to do is in between stone to stone, make sure you clean up the dust, okay, that is in the diamonds. Otherwise, you're going to contaminate the next stone. If you're going to use this, though, obviously the 1200 is going to cut a lot less. If I had a big dish in here, I would go with the 400 or even purchase the 120 before I would go with the 1200. The 1200 is just, I want to, maybe I want to make a slurry. So maybe on the stone, I want to go back and forth and raise some of the particles. And then I would get, like, you can see a slurry that's on this right here. We would like the slurry to get there. This is very important, especially with natural stones. A lot of the natural stones, depending on we don't use grit with natural stones, but depending on the hardness and the coarseness, you might need to make a slurry. So these would be great to kind of raise a slurry on your different Japanese natural stones. Or even if you're using the Arkansas, they've got them from all over the world, Pakistan, India. Natural stones are coming all over. So after we go from the Atoma, if you just want to spend money, I mean, you're just like, I got a lot of money. I don't even want to do something. Luckily, I got sponsors.
Stone down.
I got sponsors. Thank you, Tony. The one I'm getting ready to show you is like Cadillac, and it's as expensive as Cadillac. So this Nanohone NL8, I mean, it's like as heavy
It
as...
is really heavy. Like,
I
he
mean, it
handed
is
to me, and I was
ridiculously
like,
heavy. Okay. So this thing has diamonds as well.
It looks very
Okay, so this
industrial.
steel plate has these buttons. The buttons are embedded with diamonds. And one of the things that you need to know about this particular one, first of all, it's more than twice the weight of the Atoma. And they'll tell you that the weight of it, whoa, it's just stuck for the, but the weight of it kind of helps you do the work. Okay, I mean, it's pressing down, like you don't have to do nothing. Okay. So the rating on this is about a 400. I want to make sure I get that tight. And this is designed to be able to flatten anything that's as low as like below it, just a little bit under a 400 up to 30,000 grit. The number one reason that I wanted to grab this and show you, I have stones that are diamond resin bonded. Okay, and then there's these other stones that certain, especially like the Syrax by Sahiro. Okay, they are called sintered, and sintered is not with a C. It's SINTERD. Sintered abrasives. I mean, we're talking like how many? I even made a list. Hold on, I'm gonna grab that for you. I'm just going to read it off for you. Let me explain some of the stuff. We're talking like aluminum, zirconium, silicon carbide, boron, nitride. I mean, there were so many like carbides and different kinds of things that they had in there that they were like, this particular stone, flattening stone, it will cut everything. 100? 485.
Yee.
Okay, sponsors. My wife sponsors.
I so just shot him a look. I know y'all know that right now.
Okay, there's one that's the NL10. The NL10 is wider. I don't need it to be wider. I mean, come on. It's going to get it done. It was Tony's birthday.
I was like,
the other
something
day.
you don't need? Oh, okay.
No, yeah. I'll have it forever. But this thing, it's, yeah. It has
harder?
a level.
But I mean, because it's so much heavier.
So I'm not pressing. Some of those I would actually be pressing. Look, it sounds like I'm really going to amp it up. I've been using the Atoma for a long time. The Atoma gets it done. Okay? It's just you've got a little money. You want next level. They make Lamborghini and Ferraris for a reason because people just want to get there. And this says, bring me your stones. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Oh my God.
And we will free them. We will free the stone. Okay. So just like all steel and everything like that, just remember that things can rust. Make sure you clean it up and get the abrasives off in between. But we've got a nice slurry. We've got most of our lines gone. I didn't try to get all the lines gone because I wanted to show you some more things that are out there.
I'm just picking up the little swirly lines.
Swirly lines. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have had the diamond lapping plate, the super high-end Nanohone. It's an American-made product. It's got that. I mean, it's just...
Looks very industrial.
It just feels like high quality, man. It does. The Atoma plates, remember that as they wear out, they have adhesive diamonds that can be like peeled off in a new one, but it pretty much almost costs the amount to replace it. So at $99, $79 to replace the strip. And the diamonds are not random. They are also organized. I'm not sure. It doesn't say. I'm not sure that this can cut through, say, like let's say you had a vitrified diamond stone with diamonds in it. I'm not sure if it could do it. Okay, this one, we know that we can. And if I had a vitrified diamond store that was starting to dish, which if you know the product that I'm talking about, my man Big Brown Bear, like triple handmade stones that are like very expensive. it has diamonds like a baked all the way through. So you need to get through it. This is going to be the one to level that out. I'm not sure that this can. Definitely know that this one ain't going to get it done. All right. The last couple of things that we need, it's not really flattening. It's more cleaning. You can level a little bit. These are Naguras. Okay, Nagura, your pronunciation. I'm not Japanese, so please reach out. Leave it in the comments. Love to hear from you. So you have synthetic ones, which Bob Kramer, my wife will get a close-up of this Kramer. I've had it for like 8 years. So this Nagura, which I still have it, this would be on here to level, clean, get a slurry. Okay. And if you're using it all the time, I mean, you can see I didn't. I have all these Atoma plates, so I don't need to use them all the time.
You probably haven't used it in a long time.
By comparison to that, this one is a natural one. This one is made in nature, okay? So you can see that this one matches very much this Japanese natural stone that we have here. So if I needed to raise a slurry, I would use that to clean, and you can already see the slurry starting to build up. So I would use the Nagura to create that slurry, which is going to help me in knife polishing. Yeah, we got a great slurry on that right now. So that is a natural one that you can get. And then when you purchase with certain companies like Sahiro, this is brand new, never opened.
Don't drop it
So
in
we're
water.
showing you, I don't want to drop this in the water.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is brand new, a stone that we haven't used yet. It's for a whetstone war. So this Nagura,
Okay, just came in the box.
it's in the box. They get dirty. They look like this. This came in a different Sahiro. This is from the Sahiro Dabato, but you can use it to clean your stones.
Now, let's compare. So you talked about rust erasers earlier, and now you've got this little guy out. And so, I mean, sometimes there's comments about rust erasers and everything. Like, how do they compare?
Okay. So recently, rust erasers kind of came up on a topic on the show, and let's just think logically and scientifically. Okay, this is to clean the stone. This is what it was designed for. A rust eraser is technically designed to remove rust from an item that has been oxidized. So a rust eraser, I know I have it like right here. So there's one. We got two of them. My wife will give you a little quick close-up. So these items, they have flex. One is finer than the other. You can really kind of see the abrasive, the graininess. And like an eraser, you would literally rub it on here and try to erase any materials that might be, I'll do it here. Okay, so the rust erasers come in certain particle sizes. There's 3 different sizes. I have the medium and the fine, or there's a coarse, a medium, and a fine. They're not expensive. They are designed to remove oxidation from metal objects. They were not designed for cleaning whetstones. The argument is that some of the particles of the rust eraser, when cleaning a whetstone, some of the abrasive gets lodged in the stone, and therefore it reduces the cutting ability of the stone. For that to actually happen, the abrasive has to be smaller than the space on the stone. So if you have a very fine stone, you have very few spaces between there, and if the rust eraser, especially the coarse one, is bigger, it will help loosen up any type of slurry and particle or load up that's on the stone. But then itself, it should not build up. If you had one that's too fine and you had a coarse stone like a 220 Shapton or a 200 Nanohone or even a 180, I can see some of this getting in there and reducing the cutting ability. So there is some argument for it. I don't know that there's a precedence or any type of science being done on it. If you guys see that article, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But the purpose of the Nagura is that it is specifically designed to clean the stone. So if you don't want to get into the argument of the rusty eraser, even though the rusty eraser is highly effective, and you haven't purchased the Nagara, and you have to purchase them separately, not all companies do that, I would tell you, I like the rusty eraser. It works, great, and they're great to have around in case your knives do oxidize. But the Nagaras work great. Like I said, they come in different sizes. They make them in natural. So I just wanted you to know they're out there. I would not use this to flatten. Obviously, the natural one has some rough texture on it. It's not flat itself per se. It's not going to flatten your stone. This Bob Kramer one, I'm sure it was true when it got sent to me. Over time, it's going to wear. There's no way to know that it's going to flatten, and it's too fine to actually know. You're going to be able to get some lines off of there because you're focusing on a spot. But you're going to have to get into either the Naniwa $29 option, soak it, use it, make sure you stay in the correct direction, or jump up for 4 times the amount, a little under that, for the Atoma. If you get the 400, you're good. If you don't want to go like 120, 400, 1200, you don't need to get all that. The 400 is going to kind of cover you. And then, you just, got some money to spend and you want to get the absolute best. The Nanohone products they make, I think they make 6 different options. Some of the other options are around $200, but they specifically say that they do not do certain stones. So if you spent $200 and you can't do the centered abrasives or diamond, and then another one can do it but can't do something else, and then this one does everything. So look, it's an investment. We all know it's an investment. So I'm blessed to have one, and I love it already. It just has that feeling. And don't forget, if you're just broke, sandpaper and sidewalk, they can be your friend. But anyway, we were glad today to bring you some options, to not only know your options, how to use them, and get the most out of them. So hopefully this was a little something different than what we've been doing. We try to make sure that all the knife knowledge is there. It's technically, hopefully it's not a dull moment. We didn't have anything sharp out here today to say it wasn't a dull moment, but I hope it wasn't a dull moment. We appreciate you always.
But we're cleaning things to make them sharp.
Yeah, these will make things sharp, but we need to cover it all. You know what I mean? So this was a little something different to mix it up. We got more amazing knives that you guys have not seen, more Whetstone wars. It's going to be a great year. We've got some more ideas for sharpening science. That's our sharpening science series. I like that phrase. And now we got the wife mic'd up, so we'll get her comedy going and everything. Appreciate you guys always. Friday nights, 8 o'clock. We appreciate the support. I look forward to seeing you on the show. God bless. Good night.